Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back with another video, and this time I'd like to talk about two movie franchises that I read about last night that might get rebooted. Um, there's been talks about Steven Spielberg with DreamWorks. They're with Disney right now, and their deal is with Disney until the end of the year. And they're talking about not renewing with Disney and going to Universal. Well, the talks about going to Universal and everything is once they go there, they're talking about redoing a couple of movie franchises that you probably could say they keep remaking movies and everything. They just need to leave the movies alone and come up with fresh ideas and all that. Well, I think these movies are due for a reboot, especially which two franchises are Jaws and Back to the Future. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Jaws, no, they don't need to be doing it because the more and more of the sequels they did, the more and more it was bad. And I will agree with that. But, Jaws, the first movie came out in 1975. And here it is, 40 years later. Yes, I did count that. Here it is, 40 years later since the movie first came out. And I think the movie is due for a reboot. I think the whole franchise is due for a reboot. And at the time when Jaws first came out, it was that movie with the tagline, it, uh, it will keep you out of the water. Because a movie makes you afraid of sharks. The movie makes you terrified of the water because you don't know what's going to happen to you when you go in the water, especially with the shark. Especially now, down in Florida and North Carolina, you know, everybody's trying to protect themselves because of the shark attacks and everything. It's a very terrifying thing. But I digress. I think Jaws is due for a reboot. It does need to get back out there. And Back to the Future. Back to the Future. One of my favorite movie franchises of all time. You know, I love all three movies. Out of all three, but number two is my favorite. It is. I'd probably go with 2, 1, 3. Which even the third one was pretty good, especially with them going the Old West, and even sets up the train to be the new time machine and everything, which set up for the cartoon Back to the Future. And it's only been 30 years since Back to the Future has been around, and it's still that is due for a reboot, especially with how are they going to do the franchise now for Back to the Future? What kind of car are they going to use? I'm sure they're not going to stick with the DeLorean, even though it's nostalgia. The DeLorean is nostalgia. Everybody knows one of the first things you think of when you think of the Back to the Future franchise is the DeLorean. And, I'd like to see what kind of car they would use now. What kind of car they would use for the time machine. Who would play Marty? Who would play Doc Brown? I think that would be awesome to see those franchises again, especially with Spielberg will have hands on to it. Jurassic World, one of the biggest movies of the year. He had hands on to it, and he directed it back when Jurassic Park first came out back in '93. So that being said, I can't wait till this happens with both franchises. If they do go to if Spielberg's DreamWorks does go to Universal, I'd be excited to see both Back to the Future, the reboot, and the Jaws reboots. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Until next time, like, comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Until next time, see you later.